Suprabhat, I'm Pragati Agrawal, and today we will be understanding the concept of inheritance. Now basically what inheritance in general means. So in real world example, if we take an example, then we can say that a child basically inherits some of the character traits of his or her own parents. Okay. So we sometimes say that okay, so the chin is of the father, the nose is of the mother. So basically he has inherited those traits, right? And even in intelligence also he might have inherited the intelligence of any of the parents. Okay. So basically this is called as inheritance. Now in coding, why this inheritance is used? What's the use? Let's take an example of a robot. Okay. We have created a robot. Don't move on the drawing part. I'm just creating this to help you explain. This is a robot. Okay. Now this robot in general has the color. Okay. So this is of red color. Let me create another robot also. Now we have another. Okay. This is of blue color. Right. And there can be multiple robots of multiple colors. So what am I saying? That color is basically the attribute, one of the attributes that we are considering. Okay. Now the other attribute that we can consider is the anything, number of legs. Okay. Because this is a robot, it can have multiple legs also. Okay. So we can say number of legs. Let's take an example that multiple robots, every robot can have different number of legs. Okay, so these are the two attributes of these robots in the general robots. Now comes that they can, what a basic robot can do, it can walk and it can talk. Let's suppose. Okay, so they can walk, these are the functions. So what here we have written, these are the attributes or the properties or attributes or the characteristics, you can say in our language, but in coding language we call them attributes. Okay, so walking and talking, walk and talk, these are the functions they can perform. Okay, this robot can perform two functions, either walking or talking. Okay, so these are basically the functions or methods. Okay, so in coding language we call them methods. These are the attributes. Attributes, color and number of legs are the attributes, while walking and talking are the methods. Now let's create them through the help of code. So I told you while coding in that previous lecture that we have to write the keyword class, and after that we have to write the name of the class. Let's suppose parent robot, or we can say robot. Okay, this is the parent class robot with the name robot, and after that we have to put colon. So class keyword, after that the name of the class, and after that colon, and in the next line after leaving some space. Okay, in the leading space we have to leave that, and after leaving some space we have to write the function. Okay, so we talked about this special function init, right? Now if you haven't seen that previous video, let me revise. Basically this init function, I have no space left here, so let me erase one of the robots. Yeah. So in this special function, what this special function, or this is basically the constructor in Python. What this function does, this special function, it initializes the attributes of the object. Okay, so what it takes in bracket, it as a parameter, it takes self. What is self? It points to the object. Okay, object's address. Okay. So basically the object that we are creating, if you have forgotten what class and object is, then let me revise. Class basically is the architecture. So we took an example of houses that are built. Those houses are built on the basis of the architecture. Okay, so that architecture designed is the class. That doesn't have any real existence, but that house that is built from that architecture has some existence in the real world. So that is the object. House is the object, architecture is the class. Okay, and multiple houses can be built on the basis of that architecture. Okay. Now, and you can now what I was saying, there was this self that was actually pointing to the object's address. So now why this self is required? In the earlier lecture I told you that it is required in order to make init understand that which object's attributes are these that it is getting in the parameters. Okay, so let me first write it and after that I will explain. So self, and after that let's suppose the attributes are color and number of legs. So color and number of legs, right? And after that, okay, to differentiate, let me put the semicolon in red, else you will get confused. And this will get merged. I don't want to merge it. Okay, after semicolon, again some space will be left here in the left hand side, and below this function definition, in the body of this function in it, we will initialize the attributes of the object. Now this self is pointing to the object's address, so this self keyword is used to initialize the attributes of the object that is getting created. So we haven't created the object till now, we haven't written the syntax, but we will write after defining this init. Okay, so inside a class, in this init method, what we are doing, we are initializing the attributes of the object. Self dot the object's color means the robot that will exist in physical world inside the, that means that will be having the existence in the memory while running the code. Now that robot will get created from this class. That robot's color is being initialized to color. Okay, the color that the user wants. Okay, of that object to hold. Now self dot number of legs. Okay, so the number of legs of a robot that will get created, it should have the number of legs that are passed by the user. So here these parameters, inside these, while object will get created, the control will come here and the user has passed the color and the number of legs, that color and number of legs will come inside this. Okay, so this number of legs we want to be a part of this object that is getting created. So we will write number of legs. Okay, that's it. So we have created, let me remove this, and this is just to denote the space that we will be leaving on the left side. Okay. Now, after creating this is the special function that is used for initializing the object's attributes. That is the thing we have done. Now, we were talking about inheritance. What is it? Let's suppose we had this, not suppose, we have already assumed this, that this robot, this general robot can walk and talk. Okay. So, we have this function walk, okay, def, walk, and this is a normal function. This one, this init, this was the special function, but this is the normal function, and it will take some parameters. If not some parameters, then it will take just the self, and then let's write pass for a moment. Let's suppose it will perform some walking, and we will put some instructions that will help the robot walk. Okay, so I'm just putting some comment here that inside this function will come walking instructions, walking code लिख सकते हैं. Okay, and after that we have the other function called talk. Right, again it will be taking self and it will have the function instruction, it will have the instructions to perform talking. Okay. Now this class consists of walking and talking as the function, and we want to create a new class, a new robot, new kind of robot that can do dancing as well. Now that dancing robot can perform both these functions, walking and talking. Okay, so that we don't want to duplicate these functions again. again. Okay, we don't want to replicate these again. So in that new class that we'll be creating, that the name of that class would be dancing robot. So that we don't want to write these functions again in that dancing robot, but to directly inherit from robot class. So what we will do, we will write the class below this dancing robot. Okay, let me use the other color. This one was blue. So class dancing robot, and inside this will come this class robot, and yeah, that's it. And inside this class, even if we write pass, or let's put the function dancing here, dancing, and inside comes self and some of the, let's write pass for a moment since we are not doing anything inside the function, but what in future we want to make robot dance. Okay, so yeah, this is the dancing robot that is taking the functions of the robot class. Okay, functions and the attributes of a robot class. So even when we will create the object of this dancing class, let me create it here. So if we say if we create the object obj, that means a robot. If we create the robot or the object that has the physical existence from this dancing robot class, let's name it robot, dancing robot. Okay, d underscore robot, dancing robot we have created. From which class we are creating? The constructor of dancing robot we will be writing. Dancing robot. Okay, and inside this we will be passing these parameters since it doesn't have init method, that is special method. So what will happen? This is the child class. Okay, so what will happen? This instead of when it will not find the init method of this child class, it will directly, the flow will move to parent's class init method and will execute this part. Okay, so inside this what we have to mention the color and the number of legs. Let's suppose we write yellow and we give the number of legs is 5. Okay, so now the new robot, dancing robot will be created with this color and these number of legs. And also what we want, this dancing robot, d underscore robot is the name, to call this function walk and talk. Okay, dot walk, so it can call this one, and we can also call this function talk, talk, and also we can call dancing function. Okay, dancing here is its own function can also be called, and these two functions from the parent class robot, these can also be called through this child classes object that we have created. The name of this object is dancing robot. Okay, so now this dancing robot can perform all the three functions: walking, talking and dancing. So yeah, that's basically inheritance in general. Further we will be learning this through code on system. That's all. Yeah, one more thing, please do subscribe to my channel since it motivates me a lot to bring more such videos. And if you find some problem with my explanation or the speed part or the language, then please do comment in the comment down below so that I can just make the modifications as required. Thank you so much.